Hey everyone on Facebook, we're about to go live. Hang on one second here. We're going on Zoom and Facebook at the same time. Hello, my beautiful friends on Zoom. Hey everybody, awesome to see you guys. Would you raise your hand or type yes in the chat if you can hear me? All right, thanks Bev, Rita, Ann. Hi Fran, Angela, Ann. Oh my God, Ann K, you're such a loyal follower. Love it, love it. I just noticed I gotta plug in. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose power here. Hang on. Look. Sorry guys, I just realized I'm gonna run out of juice. All right, now we're really ready to go. Karen is here, great. All right, Bev, hi Ann. It's 3 a.m. in her country. Oh my God, Ann, you're amazing to stay up. I'm honored. Bev, Clarity, Elena, oh, hi everybody on Facebook. We're going to both at the same time, so modern technology, I love it. Tonight, it's you and me, babe, just you and me, and we're talking about how to heal our relationship to money. Oh my goodness gracious. Statistics say that money, 72% of all Americans, that's almost everybody, 72% are stressed out about money. That's crazy. And this whole quarantine and people being out of work, look, I get it. How many of you have been affected financially by what's been happening in the world? Anybody? Yeah, all around people are experiencing massive changes, and it's very, very easy to become worried, frustrated, scared, project into the future, be tossing and turning at night, right? Wondering, how focus on the problem and how am I going to get out of the problem and what am I going to do in the future. So tonight we're going to address this fabulous topic. It's actually a great topic. And I'm excited, and I actually am very thankful to you all for allowing me to share, because when I went back to review what I wanted to share with you, it was just so, I realized how long I've been working on this issue, how much I had to share. I realized I have an entire course I could teach on this. And so I'm going to pack as much as I can into tonight and give you as much as I can in the time that we have together. And I'm going to take live Q&A, and you really want to stick around, because at the end I'm going to guide you through a very healing, powerful meditation designed to open up and expand your capacity to receive more money, more everything good, all things abundance and prosperity. And you will leave today with actual practical tips and tools, things you can use. I'm going to shake up your mind a little bit tonight. I hope that's my intention, shake you up to help you shift out of your old patterns of lack and limitation and fear. Does that sound good to anybody? Give me a thumbs up. Give me on Facebook, give me some of those hearts. I love those hearts. Give me some hearts and some thumbs up. And if you're on Zoom, type yes in the chat and get involved, because if your intention is to really receive more, you want to put your whole heart and soul into it, and that will send a signal to the universe that you're ready, that you're really ready. All right. Thank you, Dr. Patty. Stacy, all right, thanks for the hearts. I love those hearts. Send me the love. So 72%, that's almost everybody. And what that means is, for those of you who are new and don't know me, so my specialty is helping people find the hidden reasons for their pain symptoms. Physical pain, chronic pain, depression, anxiety. I work with people with all kinds of trauma and accidents and injuries, things like insomnia or digestive issues, chronic illness, chronic conditions of all kinds, and just a wide range of dis-ease, of painful symptoms that people have tried everything and not been able to get rid of it. And money is no different. Money is just another pain symptom. So if you've been suffering from it, I want you to know, first of all, there is hope. There is hope. And you're not stuck. And tonight you're going to hear some things that maybe are a very different way of understanding money. But that's what I discovered years ago that I needed in order to heal from this damn thing, because it was killing me. I was worried about money day and night. And I worked really, really hard since I was 15, but I rarely had more than enough, and often I didn't even have enough until later in my life. And then I went through a long period where I started to build up money, but I couldn't keep it. So it would come in, lots of it was coming in, but it was going out as fast as it was coming in. It was just a revolving door, and that was frustrating because I had nothing that I could rely on. No, I had nothing. And so it was just always felt like I was on a hamster wheel. Can anybody relate to this? And raise your hand or type yes or give me some hearts or thumbs up if you can relate to this. Yeah, okay, exactly, Marjorie and others in the group here. So, and it was painful because I kept working harder and harder, thinking if I worked harder and harder, I would have more money. Has anyone ever thought that? If you just work harder? Yep, Lori is saying yes. Angela, yep. I thought if I just practically killed myself working hard, that I had that in my head, that hard work equals more money, right? But it wasn't. All it was getting me was chronic fatigue, exhaustion, and bitterness. I was becoming very bitter, and I was not even enjoying what I was doing because I was working too hard, trying too hard. Now, before I forget, you may want to grab a pen and a paper, and that way tonight, if you hear some things that really start to resonate with you, or make you want to run out of the room, or make you want to throw up, or make you want to cry, or maybe your body starts responding, you might start to shake or notice an emotion, okay? I want you to write down what I'm saying so that you can go back and review what I'm saying. I need to grab my water. And really do some journaling about this later on. Because your body will never lie to you. Your body is going to always share deeper wisdom that's unconscious, that you may not be aware of consciously, and it's going to speak to you tonight. And if you listen to that wisdom, it will never betray you. It's trying to help you. So I want to take you back for a moment to the environment that I grew up in, because what I've discovered in 35 years of working with people with all types of pain, I don't care what type of pain symptom you're suffering from, there are hidden reasons, and they're often not right in front of your face. You're not aware of them. They're unconscious. They got tucked away, and they have to do with the environment that you grew up in. And the people, the places, the things you heard, saw, felt, and experienced around you, especially before the age of 8 or 9. So when I was little, my father was in residency to become a doctor. And he made $50 a month. Okay? $50 a month. You heard that right. So we weren't rich. And I could tell something was wrong, but they weren't talking about it. They never talked about money. Never. And I somehow grew up with this idea that you just don't talk about money. That there was something about it that was either bad or wrong or taboo, or you just don't talk about it. So what happened was I had feelings about it, because I could tell our body knows. We're always picking up on the information in the field around us. And I could tell my mom was worried, and I could tell a lot of things weren't right. And so I just turned all that internally, inward. And I grew up feeling worried, and I would watch my mother, and she would do things like buy things for herself and return them, all of them. She was not able to buy something for herself. She would buy for her kids whatever we needed. And she would always say things like, well, we really don't need this, or you really don't need this, or I don't need this. And if you didn't need it, you never got it. It just was not okay to receive it, buy it, and have it if you didn't really need it. And so that became the foundation of my understanding about money. If you can relate to this, send me some hands up, thumbs up, type yes in the chat. Now, the other thing was that once I became aware that I know now, I didn't know at the time, but I was formulating the idea that there wasn't enough money. Lillian saying yes, a bunch of people saying yes. Jennifer, Lori, great. So I was formulating the idea, the belief that there wasn't enough money and that there was something to be afraid of. And so I decided the second I was old enough to get a job. And so even when I was really young, I started, oh, I'm glad you're here, Daniel. This is an important call for you. So I started at a very young age babysitting and getting extra money doing babysitting. And then a friend of mine in the third grade, I started my first business in the third grade with my friend Debbie. There were both of us, two Debbies. And we started an after-school program for little kids who were younger than us. And we would do arts and crafts and music and have a snack and do exercise. And basically the parents loved us because we were doing babysitting for $1. And we would keep them for 2-3 hours. And there was for $1. And so I started earning money very young. And then as I got older, by the time I was 16, I got a real job in a store, a clothing store. And I was so worried about money that I just wanted to stockpile as much as I could. The other thing that happened was that my father and mother kept saying no to the things I wanted. So I felt like I was being controlled. Now, those of you that know me know that freedom is my #1 value. I don't like to be controlled by anybody. I want what I want when I want it. Anybody else have that going on? So I decided that the only way to freedom was if I had my own money. Then I could go where I wanted. I could buy clothing that I wanted. Even in my household, so I became a vegetarian when I was young. I was 15, and my parents freaked out. And the only way I could eat the way I wanted was to cook my own meals and buy some of my own food. And so at 16, I started doing that. And I just made a really strong decision that I didn't want people controlling me. And I saw the ticket to freedom was to have money. So some of you are saying you can relate. Angela is saying my dad was very much of if you don't need it, you can't have it. Yeah, I heard that all the time, like all the time. If your clothes were falling off with holes in them, maybe, you know, but if you didn't really need it, you didn't get it. So, and I felt limited. And I think a part of me knew, even at a very young age, that I didn't want to feel limited. That was not in my DNA for this lifetime. So, hi Sandra. I think I have to bring you to the camera, it says. Oh, no, I don't. Why did I do that? Sorry, Sandra. So let's see. All right. I'm just going to wave to you. Okay. Now, next thing I also realized is that I didn't feel worthy. Now, this took me a while to recognize, but as I got older, like when I got into college, I noticed that, for example, simple things like I'd be at the grocery store and the guy would say, well, can I help you take your groceries to the car? No, I can do it. People would say, oh, you look so beautiful today. And I would say, oh, this old thing, oh God. You know, I would push away even compliments. People would try to open the door for me. I was like, I've got that. You know, I'm strong enough, I can do that myself. in my job I worked during college as well, and I would never let anyone help me. I was always trying to prove that I could do it faster, I could do it well, I was competent, I was smart enough, I just wanted to be good enough. Now, I didn't recognize for many years until much later in life when I was in a hell of a lot of pain and I had to go on my healing journey, that I was, number one, pushing away my good. I was pushing away compliments, help, support, even money. I would not let my parents help me. I wanted to prove that I could support myself. Boy, I see it now very clearly, but at the time, I actually just thought I was being an independent, strong person and that I was proving myself. But really, hidden sneakily underneath all this, what was really going on was I didn't feel worthy of your help. I didn't want to look like I wasn't good enough. So what I started to create was a pattern of overdoing and overgiving. Can anybody relate? So I started doing and doing more and doing more and doing more and giving more and giving more and giving more and trying harder and working harder and working overtime and working extra and getting a second job and paying for dates and paying for everything of my own and other people's and never wanting anything in return, even though people wanted to give me gifts. I even would push away gifts. I wouldn't let people give me gifts. And eventually I trained everybody to stop. And there I was, all alone doing it myself. All right, so some people are relating. Stacy's saying yes, Lynn is saying yes. I had a feeling some people would resonate with some of this. And so deep down, when I started my healing journey and I started to look at what was really going on inside of me many years later, I recognized, wow, deep inside, I felt like not enough. Not enough syndrome, okay, was running my life. My ideas about money, I also grew up somehow with the idea that rich people were bad and I didn't want to be like them. And so I had a lot of judgment going on. Take a look at this, you guys. I really decided I had a lot of judgment with people who had things that I didn't have or that we didn't have as a family. Instead of seeing that if they have it, I could have it, I saw it as, well, you know, there's just, you know, who do they think they are? And I had judgment about them. Jen is saying, yes, she had this problem in her 20s. And Fran is saying, thank you for spelling out the underlying issue of not worthy of help and gifts. Yeah, it was big. Even later, when I got married, oh my goodness, I got so upset when my ex-husband would give me gifts. I would literally give them back and push them away until I finally trained him to stop complimenting me, stop giving me gifts, stop treating me well, because deep down I didn't deserve it. So, you know, I look at it now and I could just like, oh my God, what was I thinking? But that's really the truth. Tammy's saying yes. Rita's saying, I'm a giver, not a taker. Got it from my mama. Yep. Sounds like my life story, Elena is saying. Good, I'm glad you guys can relate. Well, I'm not glad, but I've got solutions for you if you're still going through this, because this creates really bad stuff later in life, in relationships, in careers, in finance, even in your physical health. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you think you're limited and lacking with money, guarantee you are thinking that you're limited and lacking in health, in love, in other areas of your life. If you think that people who have what you don't have, there's something about them that you don't like and you judge them, you will never allow yourself to receive what they have. You'll literally not take it in. Because then if you've judged them, it means that you would be like them. So you're not going to allow in abundance of any kind if you think people who have it are somehow bad, wrong, or less than. And you will stop it from coming into your own life. So there's a lot to this. You know, like I said, I really could teach a month-long course on this. And in fact, if you really like that idea, I want you to let me know, because I see so many people suffering from this. Every single day, I have new clients approaching me, potential clients, people emailing and calling and saying, I want to work with you. I need your help. I've been in pain for 20, 30 years. I hurt from this, from that. I have pain. Can you help me? Can you help my kids? Can you help my mother, my father, my relatives, my husband? And you know what the number one thing that I hear when I share with people how I can help them? The number one thing, guess what it is? Somebody want to guess and type it in the chat? I bet you can guess. They go, oh my God, that just sounds amazing. That's exactly what I need. But what do they tell me? They say, I can't afford it. Have you ever said, be honest now, have you ever said, I can't afford it, to something you know you really need? How many of you have said, yep, I can't afford it? Anybody say that? Give me some thumbs up if you've said that. Yeah, Lynn, Stacy, exactly. Tammy, yep. Great. So Jennifer, Tammy's saying yes. Bev is saying yes, but I stopped it. Good for you, Bev. It's not easy. Rita's saying I changed my mindset from I can't afford it to I choose not to spend it. So that's a tricky one, because it's still related. And I'm going to talk about that more. But here's the thing, and I want you to really hear me. If you hear nothing else today, I want you to hear this. Every time you say, I can't afford it, every time, I don't care what it is, your subconscious mind takes your word literally and will follow your orders, and it will make sure that you cannot afford it. I'm going to repeat that. Close your eyes and listen. Take this in deeply. Every single time you even just look at your circumstances, your wallet, your bank account, and you say, I can't afford that. I just can't afford that. Every time you say it, your subconscious mind goes, yes, you're correct. And I will make sure that you cannot afford it now, and you won't be able to afford it. You see, the universe is vibrational in nature. And it always says yes to you. It always is saying yes to you. So if you say, oh, I can't have that. Oh, I don't deserve that. Oh, no, that's not for me. I can't. I couldn't possibly take that. I can't afford that. It costs too much. I can't afford it. You see, if that's where your thoughts go, and that's where your emotions go, guess what? That's where your energy goes. And you're sending out a signal to the entire universe, like a neon sign, and the universe hears your message and says, okay, got it. It's no different than going to a restaurant and sitting down, and the waiter comes over and says, what would you like to eat? What would you like to order? And you say, oh no, I can't possibly order. He has no idea what to bring you, so guess what he's going to bring you? Exactly what you said, nothing. Nothing. The universe is waiting for your order. Yeah, all right, Carmen, Deborah, great. So the thing is that we're going to continue talking about today, is that the outer world of form, your physical world, which includes your body, your money, the relationships. Thank you for all the hearts. I love that. Anything physical, that's called the world of effect. The physical world is the effect. It is not the cause. I'm going to repeat that. Listen carefully. I want you to write this down. There's an invisible world and there's a physical world. They're very different, and they're both real. And the invisible world is more important than the physical world, because the invisible world is where everything begins. And what starts in the invisible shows up in the invisible. It's not the other way around. And guess what? The number one thing that most everyone does when they're in pain of any kind, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain like depression or anxiety, panic attacks, whether they're in relationship pain, whether they're in financial pain, guess what they do? What do? You focus on the symptom. You focus on the physical symptom and you say, I don't want that. How do I get rid of that? How do I stop that? And guess what that does? It keeps you stuck in the very thing you're trying to get rid of. You are guaranteed to stay right there and keep getting more of what you don't want when you focus on the physical world. My approach to healing is very different than conventional thinking. It is not normal, but I will tell you, it works. It's worked for tens of thousands of people in 150 countries. And people every day say, Deborah, that's impossible. Oh my God, that's a miracle. Oh my God, how did that even happen? I'll tell you how it happens. Because on my own personal journey of healing, and in all the things I've studied, I recognized I had a huge epiphany, and then I had more and more and more confirmation of it. This invisible world is the most important thing to focus on. You can call it spiritual, you can call it energetic, it's invisible, but it's the key to the health of everything: money, body, mind, and spirit. The invisible world is made of your thoughts and your feelings. Your thoughts and your feelings are made of energy. Energy starts and creates and then becomes the physical form. Energy starts and creates. Your thoughts and emotions are a creative power that no one taught you that you have. And that's where creation begins. And I've been obsessed with creating since 1984, when I woke up to all of this and started changing my life. Keep those hearts coming. I love it. You're making me feel good. I'm glad you're getting value here. So in my life, literally everything changed because I started really getting the subtle level of energy is the root cause of what you're seeing in your body, your wallet, your waistline, your life, your love, everything. It starts in the invisible. Are you with me? Raise your hand if you're with me. Say yes. Type yes in the comments. And great. Awesome, Rita. I love it. Glad you're hearing it. Jen, great. Fran, love it. Valerie, Deborah, good. So many people getting it. Yes on Facebook too. I love it. Okay, so here's what we have to do. We have to check something here. All right, good. We're good on time. So here's what we have to do. We have to first recognize and change our beliefs, our thinking about money. We have to wipe out the incorrect false beliefs. And we have to really look at the judgment that we have about it. So I'm going to ask you right now, use your pen and paper and type in the chat and type in the comments on Facebook. What is when you think about somebody who's really wealthy, who's got what you want, what comes up for you? Is it an emotion like jealousy? Is it a thought like, damn, how did they get that and not me? What comes up for you? What kind of thoughts, what kinds of emotions come up for you? I want you to write it down. Envy, Deborah's saying. Yeah, that's often what comes up. What comes up for you when you see someone who has what you want? Has the amount of money, has the job, has the career, has the house, whatever it is, some kind of abundance. What comes up for you? Inspired. Thank you, Joy. Glad to hear that. I'm so glad to see you here. I wish I could have that is what comes up for Angela. Also, I deserve that, but I can't figure out how to get it. Okay, yeah, thank you for putting that. I think a lot of people go through, I just can't figure it out. Bev is saying some wealthy people are generous and some are greedy. The greedy make me angry. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that further as well. Nicole says, I wish I had thought of that, right? Yeah, so that's even a limited thought because it's as if there's only one chance to get that. or one person. Fran says, yes, frustration. I can't figure it out. So here's what I want to introduce today. Some of you, this may be a new way to think about it. When you think about money, abundance, I want you to remember, well, the definition of money, by the way, is that money is actually energy. And it's a medium of exchange. I give you money in exchange for something you give to me. It's an exchange of energy. Think about that. And years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 600 BC, was the first time they created metal coins. Before that, they used beads and feathers and chickens and goats and things, and they traded. I give you this, and you give me that. And think about that. How in the world is that evil? Maybe you've got that belief going about money being the root of all evil. How could that possibly be evil? It was an exchange for something that was needed, that I have something and you have something and we trade with each other. And then eventually it became metal coins. There's nothing evil or greedy or bad about any of that. What happened was, over time, and what is still happening, is people started to just love more and more and more and more and more and more, and they got what I call the never enoughs. So especially if you feel not enough, guess what? That empty black hole inside of you, there's never enough to fill it up. Some people try to fill it with food, with booze, with pills, with pot, with Prada, with shopping, with traveling, with gambling, with sex, with money. Very, very common to try to more and 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 more. But guess what? If it's coming from the not enough syndrome, you will have the never enough syndrome, and there's not enough to fill it up. Can anybody relate? So what we're talking about here is the difference between financial security and financial serenity. Now, there have been a lot of studies about this that show that there have been millionaires and multimillionaires who, with millions of dollars in the bank, when they were interviewed, they did not feel secure about money. They were not feeling secure about money with millions of dollars in the bank. So it had nothing to do with the amount of money. It really had nothing to do with money. You with me? And then they've interviewed people who had very little money, and they were some of the happiest people around. And they weren't worried about money, and they weren't up at night, counting how much they had, or balancing their checkbook for the 100th time. So money is not the issue. The issue is, what do you believe is the source of your supply? What's the source of your supply? And guess what? Here's where I want to shake you up. The source of your supply is not your job, your boss, your spouse, your investments, your parents. That is not the source of your supply. That is a channel of supply, and only a channel of supply. And guess what? Channels constantly dry up. I want you to think of a tree with leaves and fruit all over the tree. The leaves dry up and fall off. The fruit dries up and falls off. But the leaves and the fruit on the tree, they come back year after year, right? And why? Because they're not the source of themselves. The roots of the tree create the leaves and the fruit. The roots are the source of supply. Nature is the source, and nature never stops. It's infinite in supply. And if you get this, you're really going to get what I'm talking about, because this is the same as money. All money is energy. It flows freely in abundance everywhere in the universe, and it never dies. Energy never dies. It is unlimited. It is everywhere present. It is all around you. And guess what? It's also inside of you. Energy, that's what you're made of. That's what you're soaking in, living in. You're in a field of energy, and you can't be separate from that field. It's like saying the tree is separate from nature. It cannot be that way. It just doesn't exist that way. And I want you to expand your idea about this source and this abundance, because abundance isn't just money. Prosperity is not just money. It's all wealth. Think of wealth. That's the term I really want to use, wealth, okay? It's not just money. It's love, beauty, joy, it's inner peace, it's feelings, it's expression, your self-expression, your creative expression, it's your passions, it's your purpose, your higher purpose in life. All of that is wealth, all of it, not just how much money's in the bank. Now, I bet you don't lie around at night tossing and turning about, I mean, maybe you do, but I doubt that most of you, if you had to measure the degree of stress you have about money versus beauty, I bet you stress more over money than beauty. Hands up if you stress more over money than beauty. Yeah. Christina's saying, I have some work to do. That's okay. We all have work to do, and we all can continue to expand our ability to receive. That's really the point of all of this. Do not judge yourself for a second where you're at as you hear me today. Do not judge yourself. What I want you to do is recognize the truth, because the truth will set you free. If you're aware, if you're not aware, you can't change anything. But once you're aware, you can change starting tonight. And in a few minutes, I'm going to give you a powerful affirmation and take you through a guided meditation that's going to shift everything if you practice it. You can change tonight, right here today, or at 3 a.m. if that's what time it is where you are. You are not limited, and everything can change in the blink of an eye. And I mean that. I see it every day in my world. So let's throw out the idea that I have a lot of work to do. No, you just need to shift your understanding and be open and willing to change. If you're open and willing to change, I want you to say out loud right now. This is really powerful. Remember what I said, your thoughts and your words and your feelings are an energy that is creative in nature. So it starts creating right now. So if you're willing and open, I want you to say out loud, I am willing and open to receiving, expanding my capacity to receive. I am open and willing to expand my capacity to receive right now, starting right now. Say it out loud and practice and notice how it feels. Say it with some energy. I'm open and willing to expand my ability to receive money. Now see how that feels. Notice what comes up. Listen to the thoughts that come up and write them down. Yes, even if you're disabled, Tammy, you're not dependent on SSI. They are not your source. And that's where people get confused. The source of energy is for everyone, no matter who they are, no matter where they are, no matter what your outer conditions are. When you're focused on the outer symptoms, you're going to stay stuck, and the universe will keep you dependent on a person, place, or thing, because money can come from everywhere, both known and unknown. And until you're willing to shift your mind about all of this, you will stay at the level of consciousness. Money and your ability to receive has to do with one thing and one thing only, and it is your state of consciousness. So until you change your mindset, your consciousness, nothing's going to change. That's just a fact. Everything you see in your outer life has to do with your state of consciousness. That's it. It's as simple as that. And until you start practicing and changing your beliefs and becoming more unlimited in your thinking and in your emotions and in your capacity to receive, nothing will change. And that's the truth, and I'm sticking to it. So All right, so I want you to start thinking about abundance this week, wealth, prosperity. I want you to really get honest about the thoughts that come up that say, oh, that's not for me. I could never have that. Oh, that just doesn't work for me. Whatever it is that comes up, I want you to write it down. Because I want you to get really honest, very rigorously honest about what is in your head. What are your ideas about money? And, you know, if you want to work deeper, further with me, this is what I teach and help people. I have time in my Pain-Free Living program to help people through these stuck points when I have time to work with you. I'm giving you as much as I can today, but if you're really serious about shifting all this in your body, your financial situation, your health in any way, your relationships, your career, I invite you, I welcome you into my program or to work with me privately. There's several ways you can work with me, but you know, it's very difficult to see our own blind spots. That's why I have a coach and 3 groups that I'm in. I practice what I preach because we have blind spots and we don't like to admit everything either. And we aren't going to see the patterns all the time unless you have somebody guiding you or spotting you, you know? And you may need a coach for a while, so I'm happy to do that for you. So just reach out to me, and I am very happy to help you bust up all these beliefs and emotions and patterns and conditioning that you got probably way back when you were little and you didn't even know it. And we do that every day. And the high-speed healing method, that's really profound as well, because it will tap into your unconscious energy field and bring up imprints from the past that you weren't aware that impacted you and help move those out energetically like that. So the way I work with people is clearing beliefs, teaching you how to clear beliefs, teaching you how to find and clear the emotional patterns that get stuck and keep you just bogged down and feeling like, oh, I'll never be able to change. And I help you with the high-speed healing method, and I do that work for you by clearing your energy field. And boy, that's like the superpower that it activates and speeds up the whole process. And this applies to money as well. Of a lot of people who go through the program because they have financial issues. And these patterns are tricky because I myself have noticed I went through kind of a roller coaster for a long time where the money would come in, I'd have a lot of it, and then, like I said, it would all just disappear. Like, where did it go? And I couldn't retain. So I had to break that pattern, and I couldn't see that blind spot for a long time. And there were quite a few different things. I don't have time tonight because I want to get to the meditation, but there were quite a few things I discovered that were in my way. And that was why that pattern was there. And you know, here's the tricky part. We get used to our patterns even when they're hurting us because they're comfortable. We feel safe there. We know how to manage it. It's sometimes scary to step into the unknown. And that's where I see a lot of people get stuck, is they're afraid to break the pattern because they're scared of the unknown. They don't trust themselves. They're afraid they're making the wrong choice. They're not telling anybody because they're ashamed of what they've created. They blame themselves because they think, well, I created this, so then they blame themselves, and that's never helpful. And there's no blame. You've got to throw the blame game out. You can't blame other people. You can't blame an accident, an injury, a parent. You can't blame the bank. You can't blame the government. You can't blame anybody. And you can't blame yourself. These are spiritual, empowering lessons we came here to learn. They're very important because if you want to evolve spiritually, even if you just want to evolve personally as a human, you have to bust out of your limited ideas about what you're capable of achieving and receiving. And until you do that, you're going to stay right where you are. So nature is constantly expanding. That's a truth about nature. It's always growing. And we are a part of nature. And sometimes we forget that. But we are just as much a part of nature as any tree or flower or ocean or cat or dog or dolphin. And you don't want to forget that, ever. And you want to remember that you came in with a blueprint, and your challenges are part of your blueprint to help you grow and develop strength and character. And what I call, those are your lessons at Earth School. They're not bad. They're not wrong. You don't want to get rid of them. You want to really dive into those lessons and get them so you can evolve, expand, and have greater freedom and ease and a sense of growth. That's what you're really wanting anyway. You're wanting to feel that bigness that's inside of you. You're wanting to express that. And you can't if you're stuck in a limitation of some kind. And I know you know, because I get these emails and calls every day. And when I talk to people in my programs, they say, there's something inside of me. It feels big, but I don't know how to get it out of me. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And this relates to money as well. And it's all the same. It's spiritual energy. It's energy. And it's not bad. And you don't figure it out with your head. You connect to the source, which is invisible, and you recognize that you, that source, is with you 24/7 and is always saying yes to you. So our work, your work, my work is to clear out anything, thoughts or emotions, memories, trauma from the past. We have to clear out what's standing in the way of us having what we want, what we desire, and receiving more. You get it? Are you guys with me? Give me a yes. Give me some hearts. Give me something here if you're with me. All right, good. So, anybody ready for the meditation? I'm going to now stop talking and take you through an actual experience to help you expand your capacity to receive. Now, this is very powerful, and don't be too quick to judge either with this, because oftentimes the effects of this are going to come later. And I want you to come back. We're going to send out the replay of this event tomorrow, and it will be posted on Facebook as well. And you can come back, and I want you to practice this again and again and again. Promise me, you're not going to do it just once. You're going to, if you really want to heal from money woes, you want to practice this over and over till you could do it on your own without watching the video. All right? Raise your hand if you're going to do this and dive in. Yeah, thank you. All right. Tere's ready. Anne is ready. Cool. I love it. Okay, so no driving. I want you to find a comfortable place where you can sit down. Probably better to sit down instead of lying down. I don't want you to fall asleep for this. I want you to be wide awake, very alert. So find a place where a safe place where you can sit down. And close your beautiful eyes. All right. Begin now. Take a deep, deep breath of the abundance, the never-ending life force. Breathe it in. It's everywhere. And now open your mouth and notice that it's easy to let go of that breath. Let it all go, because there's plenty more. And now take in another breath and fill up all the way up into your beautiful heart with the unlimited energy of breath. And now open your mouth and just sigh out every drop of that breath, because you know there is just an unlimited supply. So let it go. Look how easy it is. Feel how easy it is to let it go. And now breathe in again. Take in more breath. And this time, bring the breath all the way up into your heart and hold your breath at the top. And feel what it feels like to hold that in. And now exhale deeply, slowly, and let every drop of that breath go. Notice how relaxing it feels to let it go. Relax your stomach, your low belly, and draw the breath into the low belly and then draw it up, up, up into your beautiful heart and hold your breath at the top. Sip in a little more, even if it's uncomfortable. Hold. And now exhale every drop out. Again, relax your low belly and breathe into the low belly and draw the breath up, 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 up into your beautiful heart and hold your breath at the top. And now sip in more, a little more, and hold it in. Notice if you like or dislike the feeling of being full. And now exhale and let it go now. Let every drop go. One more time, I want you to practice receiving more than you're used to. Draw the breath all the way up into your heart and expand your lungs. Take in as much as you can. Hold and then sip in a little bit more air, as much as you can, until you're so full. And notice what happens when you do that. And now release and let every drop go. And as you breathe in and out now, just a regular, easy, effortless breath. In and out through your nose. I want you to notice, did you prefer breathing in or breathing out? Which felt better to you? Which felt more comfortable to you? Breathing in and receiving, or breathing out and letting go and giving? Notice your natural preference without any judgment. Notice if you preferred to receive or to let go. Just notice without any judgment. And as you breathe just easily and effortlessly, I want you to imagine now. I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. And I'd like you to think of money. And I'd like you to think about what would be an uncomfortable amount of money for you to receive. What would be too much? How much would be too much? I want you to get a specific amount in mind. And I want you to imagine, in whatever way you imagine, that you are either earning it, or somebody's giving it to you. It doesn't really matter. You could find it on the street. But I want you to imagine saying yes to that amount of money. Turn your palms up in a gesture of receiving. And imagine yourself with that amount of money, maybe a check that you're going to deposit in the bank. Imagine this is real. It's yours. No strings attached. And notice what happens in your body, in your thinking. Notice what you feel. Notice any emotions or any memories, any judgments, any thoughts that come up. I want you to imagine yourself. Now you're looking at your bank account and you have that much, whatever amount you chose, you have that much money in your bank account. Notice how you feel. Notice your body. What feedback is your body giving you? No matter what amount you chose, imagine it's in your bank account. You pull it up online, you got the statement in the mail, and you see that amount that you chose is in your account. How does that feel? What are the thoughts? What's coming up? Any memories? Just allow the feedback that your body and mind are giving you. Allow it to come up. There's no right or wrong. Whatever comes up for you is exactly what needs to come up for you. Let it come up without any judgment. Now, I want to ask you to increase the amount. Notice what happens if you increase the amount. Imagine yourself receiving even more. More money, more gifts, more. Where does your body and mind say no? I can't take in that much. Where is your limit? Notice the feedback your body and mind are giving you. And just sit with that and feel it. And notice what goes on inside you. What thoughts and memories come up. Now, I want you to imagine that the universe wants to give you a huge gift, more than you can possibly imagine. And if you've ever given a gift to someone and they said, no, I can't take that gift, you know that it actually hurts the giver to not be able to give the gift. The universe wants to give you this unlimited gift of money. So, more than you can ever imagine possible, the universe wants to give you that right now. Are you going to receive the gift? And if you are, I'd like you to imagine receiving that right now. Imagine, picture in your mind's eye, listen to the sounds that you would make, or the words you would say, what you would tell people, what you would do. Imagine your actions. Imagine what you would do with some of that money. See yourself doing some of the things you would love to do with the money. See it in color. If you can imagine visually, I'd like you to see it literally in living color. If you can hear what you would say and what others would say and what you would do. What actions would you take? How would you look? Where would you go? What would you do? Actions would you take if that money were in your account right now? How would you feel? How would you feel if the universe, just like a person, were giving you that gift? How would you feel? And how would you express that feeling? Feel it right now as if it's already happened. I want you to picture and imagine and feel and hear this so strongly that it's as if it's already happened. It's so real that you literally can feel it and sit there smiling because it's so vividly real for you. All right, take a moment now. Feel into this And if you're not somebody who can visualize, just imagine in whatever way you imagine. There's absolutely no right or wrong. Imagine receiving a certain amount of money that's just beyond your wildest dreams, and take it in, and how would you feel? And imagine what you would do with it. Imagine what you would say and how you would look, and how you would feel. Most important. What would you do with this huge, abundant, lavish amount of money? Now, all right, one more step here. If money, the energy of money, if money were a color, what color would it be? Give the money a color. Now remember, money is energy. And energy is everywhere present. So I'd like you to begin to imagine the color that you feel, that you think money is, the color that represents money to you. Imagine. It's filling the space around you. Everywhere you look, you see the energy of the color of money. See it now. Imagine it in your mind's eye, in your imagination. Literally, everywhere you look, up, down, sideways, and inside yourself. I want you to imagine that color, vivid and strong and powerful, filling your body. So it's in you, it's around you, it's everywhere. Picture that now. Imagine that now. Feel that color, that abundance, that wealth of money, energy. Feel it now. See it now. Imagine it now. Filled to the brim. Notice the vibration of that. You may even begin to feel your body vibrating. You may feel tingling. You may notice your heart rate. Sit with that for just a moment here in the silence. There's no place that is not filled with your color of the energy of money. It's everywhere present. Now, as you focus on that omnipresence, I'd like you to press your thumb and your index finger together. And I'd like you to create a snapshot in your mind's eye of an image or a symbol that represents total abundance everywhere present. It could be an image, it could be a dollar sign, it could be a check, it could be a symbol, a color, whatever represents total abundance of the energy of money, the color and the energy of money. Create a symbol, just make it up. And I'd like you to take a snapshot of that in your mind's eye, and I'd like you to shrink it down, that picture, the size of a postage stamp. So you have a little teeny tiny picture that represents unlimited money energy. And now I'd like you to clone it so you have two teeny tiny postage stamp images of the unlimited abundance of money energy. And I'd like you to place one of those stamps right in the center, in your third eye area, all the way into the center of your head. And the other in your heart, all the way into your heart area. And with your eyes closed and your palms open, I'd like you to acknowledge this abundant flow of energy is now filled inside you, totally surrounding you, and everywhere present. And I'm going to share with you a powerful affirmation, and I just want you to take it in, and you can work with this later on your own. But for now, just open to receive this. You can silently or out loud say it along with me as well if you like. Here we go. Money is not my supply. No person, no place, no condition is my supply. Only my awareness, my understanding, my knowledge of the unlimited energy that surrounds me and that is in me, that is the source of my supply. Energy is unlimited, therefore my supply is unlimited. And my consciousness of this truth is also unlimited, and therefore my supply never ends. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. It's my awareness, my consciousness of the unlimited energy that surrounds me and that's within me, that is the unlimited source of my supply. And as I awaken to this truth, and as I turn within to this truth, my supply shows up in physical form, in abundant, never-ending, unlimited supply. Now take a deep breath and let it all go. Take another deep breath. Let it all go. And one more time. Take another deep breath and let it go. And come all the way back now. Wide awake and alert, refreshed and relaxed. And slowly, gently open your beautiful eyes and come all the way back now. All right, so could you feel it? Could you feel yourself expanding? Or did you notice the objections coming up in your thoughts? Did you notice where you hit the limit of your ability to receive? If you noticed it, give me some thumbs up. If you noticed your limitation, give me thumbs down. If you noticed that you were able to receive and expand, give me some hearts, some thumbs up. Manisha saying that was really good. Great, glad to hear it. Great. Angela said that was awesome. Good, glad you could feel it. So you want to practice, because what you're going to find is that you'll reach a set point, either in your mind or your body or your emotions, and it will say, nope, can't go beyond that. That's the work we have to do. So let's see, Marie is saying, I now see freely what I really want. That's awesome. Now you only work on receiving it. Simple as that. Thank you, Anne. No limit to the amount, that Fran is saying, but I noticed anxiety about what to do with it. Interesting. So you want to explore that further, because there's some kind of belief you have about what you're going to do with that money once you have it. Tammy said, I noticed I didn't know that I was deserving. And when I was receiving, I realized I was loved. Oh, good. That's so great to hear. Lorraine said that was so good. Wonderful. Great. We're getting hearts. Trine, great. Lots of people on Facebook. Good. So I'm going to give you a couple more practical tips and tools to clear out, to clear the way and make room for more to come in. And this is also a very important point that I want you to write down. You know, if your closet is totally full and there's no room, or your drawers or your desk, and there's no room for more, you could have more, but there's no room to put it. So we have to create space for more to come in. And this is where a lot of people get stuck as well, because they're afraid of the empty space. But nature abhors a void. And if you create space and get rid of what you don't want, what happens is energetically you make room for what you do want to come in. But if you don't have any space available, nothing's coming in. Sorry, my friends, ain't gonna come in. So you've got to create space. So here's some practical tools. Number 1, move your body. Yes, moving your body creates space in your spine. It frees you up of tension and tightness. And this is going to also translate into, believe it or not, your money. It's your energy. Your energy in your body is no different than the energy flow of your money. So get your body flowing. Serious about this. Number 2, change your thoughts about money. Do whatever it takes. Come work with me. Let me help you get rid of that trauma from your childhood. You don't need to carry that baggage around one more day. Number 3, clean out a closet. One closet, one drawer, one countertop, one area of the garage. You will be blown away when you do physical clearing of clutter. Something is going to shift and change in your body, your finances, somewhere in your life. It's going to change. It's going to free up, and you're going to notice stuff you don't need leaving and the good coming in. Number 4, gratitude. Very powerful daily practice. Write a gratitude list before you get out of bed, and then write 3 more at night before you go to bed. 3 things that happened during the day that you're grateful for. And then wake up in the morning and start on that vibration, because the highest prayer of abundance is 2 words. The highest prayer of abundance is 2 words. Thank you. As if it's already happened. You already have it. So you say thank you. That's when you know you're really on the highest vibration. You just say thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source. Thank you, love. Say thank you, divine mind. Whatever you want to call it. Thank you, because you know it's already done. There's no wondering, wishing, hoping, checking. It's just thank you. And notice, this is one I really want you to watch all throughout the week. Notice when you push away somebody's help or somebody who wants to give you something. And I'm talking as simple as somebody saying, giving you a compliment, and you push it away. I want you to practice receiving everything this week, whether you really need it or not. If someone says, would you like this food? If the restaurant says, would you like leftover food? Say yes. If they say at the grocery store, would you like help with your bag? Say yes. If someone at work says, would you like help with this project? Say yes. If someone says, I want to give you a gift, I want to treat you to this, I want to buy you dinner, say yes. If someone wants to give you an extravagant gift, say yes. If someone wants to give you 2 cents, say yes. If you find a penny on the ground, pick it up and say yes. I want you to practice what I call yes energy. Say yes to every good thing this week, whether you need it or not, whether you're capable of doing it on your own or not. Say yes and practice the yes energy, and that one thing alone will expand your capacity to receive, and you'll get in touch very quickly with the thoughts and the emotions that are standing in the way of your ability to receive. Because if you're just going to give, I'm sorry, but that's how energy goes out of balance. Giving is not better than receiving. It takes both giving and receiving in order to stay in balance. And if all you do is give, you will get so out of balance in order to teach yourself this very lesson. So practice receiving everything and anything all week long. Practice the yes energy and clear the space and just say yes to more abundance. It's all yours. And if I can help you with these blocks, with these attitudes, with your fears, with your doubts, with your programming from childhood, with your shame, with your guilt, with your sadness, with your pain, with your money pain, with your debt pain, with all of that, all the bricks, you know, that you've been dragging around for years, it would be my great pleasure. Just reach out to me. Several ways we can work together and we'll find out what's best for you. I want you to email me at contact@internationalcpi.com, and I'll post that in the chat, or Colin, I think Colin's here with me, and Colin can post that in the chat and on Facebook for me. Thank you, Colin. And if you have other questions and other topics, please, please post them in the comments so that I know what you want, what you need, what would serve you. And I will create more episodes of High Speed Healing Wednesdays that are based on your desires. So you've got to ask for what you want. This is part of receiving, you guys. Please practice receiving by asking for what you want and letting me know. Otherwise, I'm going to have to mind read. And let's see what else. If you have not yet downloaded a free copy of my book, Why Do I Still Hurt? This is the book that talks about the hidden reasons for all types of pain. You can get a free copy on my website. Go to www.internationalcpi.com and you will see a bundle of free gifts for you. A copy of the book and some videos and an MP3 masterclass on how to live pain-free. And it will go deeper into everything we've talked about tonight, plus a lot more. And that's all, folks. Now, thank you for these great comments. I'm getting, let's see, I'd like a night dedicated to rejuvenation and being comfortable in a body. Wow, Carrie, that's so interesting because that's at the top of my list. And I'm going to be doing a live event this year as soon as we can get out of quarantine. That's going to be focused on exactly that. I love that topic, and I will be doing it virtual as well as live. And let's see, what other comments are in here? I'd like a session to drop the extra pounds on my body and eating issues. Okay, so I'm with you, and I've got several guests lined up coming quickly. In fact, one of them may be with me next week. I have to check and see what she said. We're going to go into all things about weight and food sensitivities and emotional eating. That's a great topic, and I know a lot of people in my community struggle with this. We're going to talk with one of my expert friends who's a keto diet expert, and I'm going to bring her on and challenge her because I don't feel there's one diet that's good for everybody. And so we're going to have a very controversial conversation. That'll be a lot of fun. And let's see. All right, so that's about it. I'll check the comments later, but make sure you reach out to me. You're so welcome, everybody. Thank you for all the great compliments I see here. You're very welcome. I love you. I care about you. I've got so many tools. And you know, one of the gifts I discovered along the way is I love to teach. So I'm going to be doing this now. It's not just going to end in May. We're going to keep going. So if you liked it, we're going to be going throughout June, and I'll evaluate after June again, but I could see doing this a long, long time. So I'm glad you're here. We've had a great response. And please, if you really like this, I need you to share it with your friends and family members and people that you work with. Share, I'll post, in fact, Colin, would you post the place where you register? And I'd love for you to please help me spread the word and grow this thing by sharing www.internationalcpi.com/high-speed-healing-Wednesdays. Plural. Wednesdays is plural. high-speed-healing-Wednesdays. Please share that with everybody you know, and let's get a ton of people. Let's wake up millions of people on this planet so we can have a more fun, abundant experience here. And I'll post that in a moment. But that's it, all for tonight. Thanks so much for being here. So many people on the call. I love it. And stay tuned for more. And we'll email you every week with the new topic and the replay. So if you did miss it, we'll send out the replay recording. And you can watch it again. And you can watch it here on Facebook. All right, enough out of me. I love you all. Colin posted it in Facebook, you guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your help, Colin. Have a beautiful rest of your evening or day, wherever you are. Bye, everybody. Thanks for the hearts.